I thought the world was ending when I heard her say his name in her sleep. Not mine. It slipped from her lips like a soft confession, warm and careless, as her hand rested on my chest like it still belonged there. For a long moment, I stayed frozen beside her, listening to the slow rhythm of her breathing and the quiet ticking of the clock on the nightstand. The room smelled like lavender and fabric softener, and the ghost of a life I thought was mine. I told myself it meant nothing. That's what we always do, isn't it? When something sharp enters our heart, we try to sand it down in our own mind. Her name was Lena. We'd been married 8 years. No big scandals. No screaming matches. Just slow distance. The kind that creeps in quietly, like dust, like silence, like forgetting how to touch each other without thinking. The first real crack came with her phone. She started carrying it everywhere. To the bathroom. To the shower. Turning it face down on the table. Small things. Things I noticed because I loved her enough to notice everything. One night, while she slept on my shoulder, her phone buzzed. I didn't mean to look. I swear to God I didn't. But the screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize. Mark. And the message said, "I miss you already." The words felt like glass in my throat. I didn't confront her. Not then. Became quiet. Watchful. Like an animal that senses a storm but doesn't know where it will strike. Days passed. Then weeks. I learned patterns. Late meetings. Girls' nights that never existed before. The way her smile changed when she got dressed to go run errands. One afternoon, she forgot her laptop on the kitchen table. It was open, and so was her email. I sat there staring at the screen, heart slamming against my ribs, telling myself not to touch it. Touched it. There were no dramatic photos. No graphic words. Just something worse. Intimacy. Plans. Secrets. Shared jokes I'd never heard. I felt safe with you. I wish I'd met you earlier. I hate lying to him. Not my husband. Him. That night, she kissed my cheek and asked what I wanted for dinner. I wanted to scream. I said, "Anything's fine." Because part of me was already breaking. The day I truly knew was the day I followed her. I told myself it was for closure. For peace. She parked across from a small coffee shop. Waited in her car. Smoothed her hair. Smiled at her reflection. Then he walked up. He wasn't special. That was the worst part. He looked like every man I'd ever passed in a grocery store aisle. But when she laughed, I hadn't heard that sound in years. They sat close. Too close. Her hand brushed his. Didn't pull away. I felt like my chest had been ripped open in silence. That night I started packing my bags. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just folded my clothes like a man preparing for his own funeral. Every shirt I folded felt like a memory. Every sock like a small goodbye. She walked into the bedroom while I was zipping the suitcase. She laughed softly at first, confused. "What are you doing?" I didn't look at her. "I know about Mark." Silence. Heavy. I heard her take a step closer. "You're imagining things," she said quickly. Too quickly. I finally turned to face her. "I followed you." Her face drained of color. That's when the air changed. She didn't cry. She didn't fall to her knees. She didn't apologize. Instead, she crossed her arms and said something that didn't just break my heart. It burned a hole through it. "I didn't think you'd actually care." The words didn't scream. They whispered. Softly. Dumbly. Like they weren't supposed to hurt. Like they weren't supposed to live inside me forever. I laughed. A strange, hollow sound escaped my mouth. "Didn't care." I repeated. A shrug. "You're never really here. You're always tired. Always quiet." I felt invisible. I should have argued. I should have defended myself. But all I felt was tired. "I was working," I said quietly. "For us. For a marriage that was already dead," she replied. Years. Picked up my bag. My hands were shaking. She stepped forward suddenly. "Wait." Pause. Her voice softened. "You don't get to leave and pretend you're the victim." That was the moment. The real haunting moment. Not the affair. Not the text. Not the lies. Her final words followed me like a shadow. If you were enough, I wouldn't have needed him. Something inside me cracked so loud I thought she might hear it. But I didn't say another word. I walked out. The hallway smelled like old carpet and someone else's cooking. The elevator took forever. Every second felt like my chest was being slowly filled with water. I sat in my car for a long time. Didn't cry. Didn't move. Just stared at my own reflection in the rearview mirror and wondered how a person can lose someone who was still standing in front of them. Weeks passed. People told me, time heals. Doesn't. Time teaches you how to breathe around the pain. That's all. I moved into a small apartment. Bare walls. Quiet rooms. No lavender smell. No soft hands on my chest. Some nights, I still heard her voice in my head. Few were enough. The words became a ghost. Question. A wound. Was I enough? Was I ever? One night, I unpacked the suitcase I never fully emptied. At the bottom was a framed picture. Our wedding day. She was laughing. I was looking at her like she was my whole world. And for a moment, I let myself grieve. Not just her, but the version of me who believed love was something you could hold on to forever without it slipping through your fingers. I didn't burn the picture. I set it down on the table, because even broken love still meant something. And as I turned off the lights that night, alone in a silent room, I whispered the words I never said out loud before. I was enough, even if she never saw it, even if she never will. And somehow, that was the first night I slept without dreaming of her.